What's good, y'all? All high frequency beings, thanks for tapping in once again. This video is an interlude to a video I made about this plane's magnetic field and that I dropped on TikTok, and I'm gonna play it here shortly after this short video, a small synopsis about the video before I play it. One of the main things to point out is that a lot of people like to have discussions about the physical features of this plane we live on, whether it's a flat plane or it's a big sphere. Now, the information in this video could be relative to either physical attribute. Meaning, this magnetic force field could encase a sphere or a globe, or it could also be encased in a firmament on a flat plane system, right? Because either way you have it, a magnetic field can be flat, like a flat magnet. It could be a horseshoe. A magnet also can hold different physical attributes. So not as where one might worry about something like that so much in light of the information that's more important. Because one theory about this magnetic field is that the way, and you'll understand this more after the video is played, the way that the southern pole of this magnetic field is frozen. It's frozen in Antarctica, where we know the South Pole is. The way that this is frozen could also constitute the boundaries of this magnetic field on a flat plane, whereas this field would be encasing what we perceive as the known lands. Like many know, there's lands beyond these quote-unquote Arctic walls. Well, this frozen part of this area here could be defining the boundaries and the predominant limits of this magnetic field, whereas to keep higher frequencies out and from entering this part of the realm of Atlantis, right? So, don't really, worry about the images in lieu of the physical attributes of this plane or planet that we inhabit. So, I'm going to proceed with the video now, and I'll come back afterwards with a little bit more information. Grand Rising family, all high frequency beings, thanks for tapping in once again. I am grateful to be conveying this knowledge bestowed upon me by my clairvoyant capabilities, my studies, and my ventures in the higher realms of the astral plane. I will be reading from an excerpt I've written. This plane's magnetic field, also known as the geomagnetic field, is generated in our interior outer core's tectonic plates and extends to the exosphere, or the outer layer of the atmospheric shields, thus creating a region known as the magnetosphere, defining its predominant boundaries. Without this synthetic magnetic field, the existence of lower ether and melanin recessive beings isn't feasible, as it shields such beings from all significant photon light emitted from the true black sun by way of the multidimensional transformer we perceive as the single sun, that perfect circle right below the firmament. The geographic north and south poles have been roughly misaligned about 10 degrees of the magnetic north and south poles, thus creating the tilt and malevolent anomalies to sustain inorganic life this plane. As these poles quote-unquote flip and realign themselves, the magnetic poles, things begin to spin faster and faster, as any such object would spin quicker when upright vertically, rather tilted slightly to any degree, causing a wobble and slowing it down. This constitutes and explains the rapid levels of time we are currently experiencing. This magnetic field is created by a process known as the dino theory, scientifically speaking, this dimension. This is where a source of significant heat within the plane, which would be our true black sun, Agartha, interacts with the tectonic plates, melting them in a sense, creating convective energy causing the molecules to move at rapid rates as they continuously separate, creating electrical energy that is then used by the magnetic poles to create this magnetic field we perceive as gravity. The atmospheric temperatures affect this field as they normally would any other magnetic field. Thus, the malevolent sub-zero technologized cold air strengthens and concentrates this magnetic field and its gravity by regulating the speed and vibration of the molecules within this system, not to exceed the Curie temperature and maximum temperatures. Whereas the molecules would then move faster and more sporadically, misaligning themselves, dissolving this malevolent magnetic field, which is a permanent and irreversible action, thus permanently freeing the plane from this malevolent force and nefarious gravitational resistance, our DEA and natural capabilities, ending this light cold lockdown. Ashe. Okay, so basically what I'm saying here is that this magnetic field is composed of the heat within our outer core, which is explained by the movement and the separation of molecules. And we all know molecules are atomically defined as being accumulated of neutrons, electrons, and protons. Like I explained in my sun versus moon theories about the significance of electrons constituting how we perceive gravity, right? So this magnetic field is composed of the heat within our outer core and tectonic plates, right? And you want to take that into consideration when you become aware of the volcanoes that are erupting and the earthquakes that are happening, which is a direct correlation of the more rapid movement of these molecules and this heat within this core that composes this magnetic field, right? And the geographic north and south poles are actually 10 degrees off of the magnetic north and south poles, as they have been gauged and measured scientifically this realm to be moving at a rate of 25 miles per year in an effort to realign themselves. And just speaking, the flipping of these poles is actually scientifically 300,000 years off. Basically meaning something has been stopping these poles from naturally realigning during this time. But that's just something to make note of. And as these poles have been misaligned, as these geographical poles have been misaligned and they're flipping back to their normal alignment, but as they have been misaligned, these magnetic poles, this is where they say that tilt came from on the axis of this plane, which has caused it to wobble and created many malevolent anomalies, like I said, to sustain all inorganic and malevolent life on this plane, right? So as these poles realign themselves vertically, at a 0 degrees, and things begin to line back up, this plane or this planet, however you define it, is going to spin faster, right? Because it's not wobbling no more. So it has nothing really distorting it or creating a resistance for it to spin as fast as it needs to spin. And the more faster it spins, if you stay with me, the more faster it spins, the more rapid these molecules move at this rate of the spinning, which constitutes to higher temperatures. Like I said, which is going to dissolve this malevolent synthetic magnetic field. And I also explained that about the dynamo theory, where it's basically admitting that there's a significant source of energy within this plane or this planet, which would be our true black sun. And this interacts with the tectonic plates by using the plasma that's erupting from the volcanoes. It uses that plasma to move the molecules at rapid rates as they continuously separate. And then what happens is the north and south poles, as any other magnetic system would, they use this energy, this convective energy, that's to turn it into electrical energy to create the magnetic field, as the molecules move at more rapid rates and separate. This gives the magnetic poles the source of energy they need to create the magnetic field we perceive as gravity, right? But like I was saying, they had to use the atmospheric pressures and temperatures to sustain this magnetic field, right? Meaning they need the simulated winter. They need that's why they use the sub-zero technology. That's why they keep Antarctica frozen, because they had to regulate this heat within the core that they've used to create this magnetic field, right? Because in the magnetic field, every magnetic field has a what is defined as its Curie temperature, its maximum temperature where it can operate. And once a magnetic field exceeds this maximum temperature, it dissolves, it depletes itself. And once it depletes itself, it can't be put back together, right? And this is a clear example of why they're so desperately trying to keep things cold right now. Because once these temperatures exceed, which is gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Like what? They're gonna try to knock this thing back off its axis. Like I said, as long as it continues to realign vertically, it's gonna spin faster, causing these molecules to move more faster, in a sense where they will begin to move more sporadically, and they will override this regulated temperature, which will deplete this magnetic field, this synthetic magnetic field that has binded our DEA and has shut us down and trapped us in this light cold lockdown. So this solar maximum that's approaching next month is gonna it's gonna end all of this, because like I said, once this heat, because the heat is coming from this system spinning faster and faster as these poles realign, which is an imminent process. So once this thing gets spinning so fast, like I said, the malevolent transformer filter of the sun, that's going to explode. That's going to be the EMP. All of this is a conjunctive action, and actions correlative and simultaneously happening from the rapid movement of these molecules depleting this synthetic magnetic field from the poles realigning and the plane spinning faster and faster. So look forward to great times, my people. Great times. As we all know, our activation is near. Stay focused, stay fearless, stay dangerous. One love.